the SAP systems. You will see things will be happening just at the it'll be happening so very fast. Okay. The assignments, let us see. Let's work on that. All right. So on the whole, I can just conclude that things are going good. Slow pace because we are just in the third day. You can't expect a lot of things happening in 2 or 3 days. All right. And you people, you have not said the learning has increased. Do you agree with me? Has the learning increased? Some new concepts day in and day out, correct? So you will see you'll be bombarded with lots and lots of concepts. When we talk about the integration, you will see how you need to understand not only the finance, but also the other modules. So till now we were thinking only about finance and controlling, correct? But now you will see to really have a good hold on the SAP system, you must also be knowing you must also be knowing PP, SD, HR, PS. Okay. Okay, so now we stop at the way we design the general ledger accounts in our chart of accounts. So as you can see, I hope you are in a position to appreciate the logic followed behind each and every general ledger account. These are just not some simple numbers. They have a specific logic. Yeah. Now, what do we have in the course content? Balance sheet account. He has asked us to click. You may really not be able to understand each and every word, whatever has been, whatever you're seeing. Do not worry. All right. Just to give one more information, I said the flow of data from the finance to the controlling module depends on how you design each and every general ledger account. So not all the transactions, they get into the management accounting side until and unless you explicitly tell the SAP system that it needs to affect the controlling module also. How do you do it? You do it through the way you design the general ledger account. That is where your primary cost and your secondary costs, they come into picture. Primary cost element, secondary cost element, that is where they come into picture. This I will talk to you in detail when I deal with the CO module, management accounting module. All right. A new concept.
Sir,
Yeah, Kunal.
I have already posted that we will notify them shortly for the practical they are asking for.
Sure. Okay. Thanks, Kunal. Now, account groups. What does it mean? This is another organizational element. Account group or account groups. Now, when you talk about the general ledger accounts, there could be n number of GL accounts differing in their nature. What do I mean by this? One could be a balance sheet account, another one could be a profit and loss account, GL account. Okay, so if you have a huge list of general ledger accounts, you can also categorize them as there could be account numbers exclusively for asset, You can have general ledger accounts for bank. You can have a set of general ledger accounts for cash. Correct? You can have exclusive general ledger account only for vendors. You can have exclusive general ledger accounts only for customers. So how does SAP give you all this all these things to bifurcate or differentiate the general ledger accounts? So I said in one of the projects you had 7,000 plus general ledger accounts. How do you break open what is the nature of the general ledger accounts each block is having? So basically you break open the operational chart of accounts into definite blocks. Let us say you have 1,000 general ledger accounts. General ledger accounts in operational COA. Okay, now how do I bifurcate? I can say between GL account number 1 to 100, asset related, like this. I can break open. General accounts. I can have material accounts. Materials I've already given. All right. So this huge list of 1,000 general ledger accounts, I can classify them into GL accounts between 1 to 100. They are related to asset accounting. Like another block is related to customers. Another block is related to the vendors. Another block is related to the materials. So like this, I can have my own classification, or I can have a simple two definitions. That's it. Balance sheet. I can have also this. Out of the 1,000 general ledger accounts, account number 1 to 500 is profit and loss. Account number 501 to 1,000 is your balance sheet accounts. I can also have the simple bifurcation. So however my implementing partner wants, that is the way I design these blocks. Okay, how necessarily SAP understand this is through the way of your account groups. And within the account groups, you have account types. ADKMS. A, account type stands for your assets. Where you see all this, please hold on. As of now, you should know that there is some concept called as account groups. And within the account groups, you have something called as the account types. ADKMS. You also have V, which is basically for your contract accounts. And your plus is your entire master list. All GL accounts is indicated by plus. Where you see all this, just hold on. Clear? But these concepts you should know. Account groups and these are your account groups, your P&L balance sheet, or maybe you can divide also like this. Okay, and you have ADKMSV plus ADKMS as all the account types. They are called as types, account types. Now do you see how the complexity or the understanding is increasing? Okay. See, this is what I said: cash accounts, expense accounts, revenue accounts. You can bifurcate the general ledger accounts based on whatever logic you're following, or more importantly, based on how your implementing partner wants, how he wants the general ledger accounts, or how he wants to see the accounts. Right? Account groups are assigned number ranges. Just hold on. Right? Don't. This is your number range. Simply say your 1 to 100, 101 to 200, 201 to 300. They are referred to as your number ranges. Account number 1 to account number 100 is assets. Account number 101 to account number 200 is your customers. Like this, this is your number range or your number ranges. This also is the activity of a consultant. Here, the end user does not have any role. All right, clear? You may necessarily not be in a position to. Okay. So there is a concept called as the fields that are required for data entry, fields that are optional. Okay, don't worry, I'll come back. Reconciliation accounts. What normally would you associate your reconciliation accounts with? Your BRS, right? Bank reconciliation. Correct? You do the plus or minus based on whether the checks are issued or whether the checks are received, whatever. You reconcile the cash book with the passbook. This is your BRS. This is what you have learned in your CMA or in your BCom. In SAP, the word reconciliation has a different meaning. It means the subsidiary ledgers which are connected to the general ledger through the reconciliation accounts. Basically, in SAP, you can have reconciliation accounts for your AP, for your vendors, customers, AR, and your assets. So do you think a reconciliation has anything to do with your BRS or something? The meaning is totally different. The word reconciliation here means, I think I will stop today's session by explaining this because the content may be a little too far. I'll be waiting after I finish this. I will definitely have one more boring recap of whatever we did today and also take up your questions. OK, now that we saw reconciliation account. Normally, this concept in SAP is associated with your AP, AR, and assets, asset accounting. Now, how does the meaning change? Now, in SAP, you are generating your balance sheet, I say, correct? How do you get the figure for your how do you get the sundry creditors or your sundry debtors? Now, if you imagine a big business like that of Hindustan Unilever, or say your Tatas, your Reliance, or maybe any other concern. If you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of customers and vendors, shouldn't the business know that what I need to pay, what are my liabilities and what are my assets in the form of creditors and debtors? So how is this achieved in your SAP? It is through the concept of reconciliation account. Don't worry, I need to come back to this concept once again when we talk about the business partners regarding customers and vendors master data. We need to definitely talk about this. Yeah. So your creditors is a combination or is the aggregation of hundreds and hundreds of vendors. Hundreds of vendors may be having an outstanding balance. I need to make a payment to hundreds of vendors. That is going to be my liability, correct? So how is it reflected in my financial position, in my balance sheet? Through the sundry creditors or through your sundry debtors. So what is sundry creditors and your sundry debtors? It is the balances of your all your vendors and all your customers. How this happens, how this connection is set is pretty interesting, and we will see about this when we touch upon the relevant topics. Clear? Conceptually, I think we have covered lots and lots of topics for today. Do you all agree with me? Don't worry about how the reconciliation happens or how you connect your individual customer and your vendor masters to your general ledger. So do you want to have a recap of any topic which you have probably not understood, or maybe the understanding is not that very clear? Because I feel that I will not share anything new as of today's session is concerned. And tomorrow also, let us have a recap, a detailed recap of whatever we have seen today, because it is really worth it. Guys, do not take this as a very boring session, because the more the number of times I repeat, I bring in a new point. I keep bringing in different points, which I would not have shared previously. Yeah, so I'll just be adding a point after point because understanding would be more easy. Understanding would be simple. Okay. Even if it's a repetitive session, it's really, really worth it. Even we were feeling the same when we were in your shoes, but now we realize how important it is. Yeah, each repetition has a different angle, has a different meaning. Students, please tell me what you have not understood. Not to worry if you have not understood, not at all a problem. I don't expect you to understand the whole thing in one shot. And you will see, when I take you to the live system, you will see that whatever theory I'm talking about is totally, totally different when you look at it. Yeah. And you will be thankful that I repeated a topic so many times. Guys, the floor is yours now. You can ask me any number of questions. People who have received the course content, have they started reading it?
So there is one question: variant, principle, and concept.
Okay, yeah, Kunal. Any other question, Kunal?
Difference between leading and non-leading ledger in the simple term.
Okay. Now, what did I mean by variant principle? It is a standard methodology followed in SAP. Okay. For example, the company code you need to define. You need to generate a company code. You need to create a company code in your SAP system. You need to define a chart of accounts. You need to create a chart of accounts. So whatever you create, you can also alternatively call it as create. So whatever entity you create, whether it is a company code, whether it is a chart of accounts, whether it is an account group. Yeah. So whatever you create, the first step is, the major thing is you need to create it. You need to create whatever you want to use. So you have created a company code. If you do not create a chart of accounts, how would you start entering transactions in that company code? So you also need to create a chart of accounts. This is the process of creation. Next thing, you have created a company code. You have also created a chart of accounts. Is that enough for SAP to understand what is using what? How do I know? How does the poor SAP system know that this company code is using, or rather, even before this step, what should the chart of accounts contain? Anything what you create must be having some data, within itself. For example, your chart of accounts, it should be having the general ledger accounts. So this is what you populate that particular entity with the relevant data. This is your population. You're populating. You are feeding that particular entity with the relevant information. Now, how does the system know? How does the SAP system know what is using what? Once when you have created a company code, how does the SAP system know what is a set of general ledger accounts that this particular company code should use? So you need to definitely set up a relationship between the company code and the chart of accounts, which is your assignment. Setting up or relating two different entities is called as your assignment. SAP follows this particular steps in each and every process, in each and every step. You agree with me? So I hope the concept of the variant principle was clear. What was the other question, Puna? Sorry, I just slipped.
So difference between leading and non-leading ledger in simple terms.
Okay. What is this leading and non-leading ledgers? Where is that? Where is that?
Sir, There is one more interesting question is there. Student Anish is saying, sir, can you share your SAP journey as your career path?
Yeah, sure. I'll do that. Now, before that, let me answer this leading and non-leading ledgers. Now, why do we use the concept of ledgers in the first place? That you must know. Now, I'm opening the business in India as of today. Clear? Okay. Now, tomorrow, I may expand my business to various countries. So, how do I fulfill the accounting requirement or the legal requirement of that particular country? So it is asking me to submit my financials or submit my business results in that particular country in the format it wants. See, if I tell them that I'm reporting only as of my India thing, they will say you should meet our requirements. So each of the accounting requirements may vary from, or definitely it varies from one country to another country. So how do you achieve this in SAP? My company is the same, business is the same. So the concept of your leading ledger is the original business country, the base. So India is my base country, so I have the leading ledger. There are some more points which I will add when I actually go to that particular topic. All right. So I can also make a statement that all your transactions, whether you like it or you do not like it, they are affecting the leading ledger because it is your mother country where you have started the business. All other countries apart from the base country, they are referred to as the non-leading ledgers. Now I hope I have been clear. So any other country where I am following the legal requirement of my business reporting, it is called as your non-leading ledgers. Your base country reporting and satisfying the legal requirement of reporting in your base country is taken care of by the leading ledger. And for all other countries' legal reporting purposes, I have my non-leading ledgers. I hope I was clear in letting you know as to what is leading and non-leading ledgers. Don't worry, you can ask me this question even sometime later. All right. Yes, I do totally agree with. We recap briefly since today we covered lots and lots of topics. Yes. So what I'll do is I will allow you to forget the topics, whatever you have, so that tomorrow we will recap in detail whatever we do. Okay. Lots to learn and relearn. Okay. Understand whatever has happened today. Tomorrow we will sit afresh and start revisiting whatever we did. Uh, can you share your SAP journey? Okay. See, basically, I was in my basic area was science. Then later I took up computers. I was exposed to a lot of programming. Right. So I also got qualified as a CMA. Right. So finance and computers, they became a very good combination. So till 2005, my domain was finance and accounts. Right. So after that, 2005 onwards, I started seeing SAP. And I cleared the certification, SAP certification in finance and controlling. Of course, my company sponsored my controlling certification after I put in the relevant experience in SAP. I was sponsored. So I started as a, let us say, a junior consultant or maybe say a business analyst. So that's why I said, so now you'll be able to relate. You are always supposed to be a business analyst. Why? Because you have chosen the path of a consultant. I'm talking about myself. I chose SAP as my career and I wanted to grow as a consultant. So what is my primary thing? I should know SAP, right? And I should also know the business. Suppose I'm talking to my customer, I'm talking to my implementing partner, right? So I need to understand what exactly he's trying to do, what he wants to achieve. So I use the terms as is and to be. This typically applies to the individual also. You should be an expert to understand the business as my implementing partner is working and suggest the best SAP solutions or get him the best SAP, get him the best advantage after he has invested in SAP. Because investment in SAP is not small, it is pretty huge. So he wants the return on investment, ROI, in the shortest possible time. So he is looking at a consultant. Once you are called as a junior consultant or a senior consultant, it is immaterial. The implementing partner, whenever you sit in the other person's office and start working, you will know the pressure. You will understand how it will be to work in somebody else's office. All right, because he is actually your employer. See, I said I work for IBM. See, I was not in the IBM office at all. I was in Pune, I was in Ahmedabad. So there I was working at another destination, at another place. There the challenges are something you cannot explain. You should face those challenges. Then and only then you will feel the pressure. All right, the place was different, people were different, the business was different. So there the expectations are also high because once when you walk in as a consultant, expectations they grow. They want you to be an expert in everything. All right. So this is exactly how it happened. Then I became a senior consultant. I also did a project management for one of the projects in with one of my employer. And during this phase, I worked on a lot of areas also. So I worked on, you must be remembering, I use the term IS in industry specific. I had the opportunity and I had the good fortune to work on the IS media projects, IS real estate. So there the challenges were totally different, and there in the IS, especially both were equally challenging because in the IS media we were dealing with a US client, and IS real estate we were dealing with a Dubai client. They both were pretty interesting and pretty challenging because we had to pick up new areas, and it was not a traditional FI, and so you had to understand so many concepts. So lots of, see, you should be ready to learn and unlearn also in SAP, because not two projects will be the same. No two projects will be the same. You cannot apply the same solutions to two different projects. No, it may not be possible, or rather it will not be possible. See, I said I was working on a Netherlands telecom client. So that project was very huge, 24 countries. So we were working 24/7 in that project. In the sense we had APAC, Asia Pacific. As soon as the Asia Pacific team left, we used to work in the Europe team. I was a part of the Europe team, and we used to finish the shift at 11:30 in the night. The US team used to come. So we were having the support 24/7. We were working around the clock. Okay. So this was one of the things, and you need to, as I said, these two are two very important concepts: learning and unlearning. You should forget whatever you have learned. You should learn new things. You should forget whatever has happened in the previous project, come back and think afresh. So that we normally, whenever you get into a project, people expect you to stay in the project for close to 2 years, or at least say 18 months, 1.5 years. And during those 1.5 years, lot of things you will learn. You'll have to deal with a lot of different teams, a lot of different project managers. Your bosses will be different. Your clients will be different. Their mentalities will be different. So lots and lots of things to learn. And as I said, the learning will never stop. The learning will never stop. Even if you're even if you are working on one single project, each day will be a new challenge, because you will never know what new thing or not, or when a new issue will come up. It may not happen today, but tomorrow you may face an entirely different scenario. This also happened to us in one of the projects, where we had to learn a totally new module. So we were basically the FICO consultants. We were two of us. We had to learn the PS module, project systems. We had to learn project systems. Along with our FICO issues, we had to take up the project systems issues also. For that, we had to learn the PS module. So, as I said, you can never be stagnant. You can never be stagnant, because the requirement is totally different. And for you to grow in your career, you should always be open. In the sense, if you get a new challenge, jump into it. Jump into it. You'll be under a lot of pressure, a lot of tension. That is always there, right? But for you to grow, you need to always be open to learning. Never say no. You are given a new task, take it. Nobody expects you to be an expert in whatever you take. No. You always need to take the help of your seniors and work out a solution for the implementing part. So this is how any other, every day, as I said, is a new challenge. You may have to support a totally different module to resolve their issues. So as I said, it's a mixed match. You can never work on an SAP project alone. It has to be a teamwork. It has to be a team. As I said, one project is not only one module. It involves so many modules, so many teams, so many people. And moreover, if you are dealing with the overseas clients, it is even more challenging. Netherlands is not an easy place. France is not an easy place, right? Clients, see, they are very open about who you are. They will tell you on your face. So any other interesting things what I can share? And even the probably you'll be talking to so many clients overseas to discuss issues, how you talk to them. All right, so it all depends on, but no two projects will have the same challenges. Absolutely no. These two are two different things. All right, so it's very interesting, very, very interesting, provided you have the mindset to learn and pick up. You cannot say that, okay, you're feeling bad because the client said so. It all happens. For one or two projects, you may feel bad. Oh, somebody said something very bad about me or something. It's still okay, not a problem. Take it up and try to improve. So these things are invariably they happen in projects. Not to worry, but keep on improving. That is the whole secret of the success. And wonderful feat. Now you also have seen your generation. I think you're facing lots and lots of challenges because the work environment has totally changed. You have concepts like artificial intelligence, and this also is coming into SAP. Yep. So lots and lots more interesting things are in store in whatever field you take. So do I have any other questions? This is a brief about my experience in SAP. Right. So yeah, the interview. Interview questions. See, basically, when I as an interviewer, if I take up one of your resumes and interview, I should be very well be aware that you're all freshers. You do not have the job experience, and you tell me that you have undergone an SAP course like this. So I would be basically asking you, okay, what is that? What is this? What is chart of accounts? How many charts of accounts are there? So I would be checking. So basically, when you come down to the SAP field, your communication is also very, very important. Your communication should be very good, should be excellent. This is and the confidence in which you take up those questions. Suppose I ask you, what is a chart of accounts? How many types of charts of accounts are there? What is mandatory? For SAP, what is mandatory? Okay, so as an interviewer, as an experienced interviewer, I should be knowing what I should ask you, right? So best wishes. So we'll continue tomorrow. We'll meet at 11 a.m. All right. I hope things will get more and more interesting. All right. So shall we wind up today's session, Kunal? Thank you all so much. Kunal, you're there? Hi, Kunal, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Shall we stop?
Yeah, we can stop the classes for today. We can again continue it tomorrow by 11 o'clock.
Okay. Okay. See you all tomorrow morning by around 11.